that was a really nice car. Sorry. Hey you guys, it's Andrew. Whoa, it like echoes in here. I took a lot of stuff out of my room. So now it's really loud, I guess, because there's not as much stuff absorbing the sound. Yeah. So I recently just did a coming out video. It was my story of coming out. And I've gotten a lot of questions of how other people should come... There's like fuzz. Okay. I've gotten a lot of questions about how other people should come out, and so I'm just going to give you my best advice. You don't have to take it. It might not fit your situation. You might want to do it differently, and that's totally fine. If you have a different if you have a different opinion, you're more than welcome to comment down below what you think other people should do. Try to help some people out. That'd be awesome. So my coming out advice. I know that coming out can be really, really hard, especially when you feel like you're ready to. But before you do that, you really need to make sure that you're going to have a solid place to stay. Because being homeless is not necessarily something you want to dive into. I wouldn't say it's necessarily worth it. I think being who you are is worth it, but I also do believe that there are better times than others to come out. So for instance, if you are 15 years old, and you know that you're transgender, or you know that you're gay, you know that you're whatever, and you want to come out. If you know that your parents are going to kick you out of the house and disown you, that is not a safe environment for you, and I suggest that you just wait it out. I mean, as sad as that sounds, having a place to live is most important when you're that young, because then whenever you become 18 and you move out, you can make your own decisions and you can come out then. But until then, you either need to make sure that your parents aren't going to kick you out, or that if they do kick you out, you have a solid plan of where you can stay. Next thing I would look for is probably, it's a lot easier unless you are just lucky like me and you have an awesome family that is just accepting of everybody. You should have a solid support group. So maybe your friends, maybe a teacher, somebody that you know will stand by your side if things don't go well. I suggest maybe coming out to a couple of close friends that you have a feeling will be okay with it. Get their support, and then maybe even ask them, you know, what would you do, or have them help you out of how to tell your own parents. Then after you have a group of friends that you know support you, and you know that's all good, then I would, if you think you're ready, make sure you're ready. That's another really important thing. Don't ever have anybody rush you to coming out, because it's all about when you're ready. You're the only person that knows you're ready. No one else can say you're ready. Even if you have an older sibling that, let's say, is transgender or gay or bisexual, and they've been out and you know your parents are cool with it, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're ready for it yourself, because you might still be finding self-acceptance. So once you know that you're going to have a good home, that you have, and you don't have to have a support group system thing. I just think that it's helpful. I think that is beneficial, because then if shit hits the fan, you at least have somebody to go to talk to. After you've done all those, I know there's a lot of different ways to come out. Some people do it in letters, text messages, phone calls, in person, and I think that's just based off of your personality, what you think is best for both you and your parents. If you think that it's going to be something that your parents not going to know how to handle it, and you know it'll just make things worse if you're there, then yeah, go ahead, write them a letter. I don't know if it works for y'all, but I think that letters are better than text messages, because I feel like they're more personal. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I would write a letter, even though I wrote a text message. Whatever, I'm stupid. Most people say that, oh, we'll tell your parents because it gets better. And that is true in ways. It really does get better. At first, normally there is that awkward moment where you feel like you're trying to be yourself and now they know who you are, but they just kind of either don't accept you or just don't know how to handle it. And it feels kind of awkward. And that's okay, that's normal. But you need to prepare yourself for that. If you think that you're in a mental state where you can't handle that, don't come out yet. because especially if you're coming out as transgender, there's probably going to be a lot of questions, there's going to be a lot of confusion and a lot of grief, a lot of parents saying, I don't know where I went wrong, even though it's not their fault. It's just because they don't understand. And honestly, that's perfectly reasonable because not very many people know about being transgender. But so if you've kind of tested the water and you know that it's not going to go well, don't do it. Just, if you know you can't come out to your parents because you do know that they will disown you or something, just find a group of people that accept you. Maybe you have a LGBT program at your school. I know we have the GSA, that's the Gay Straight Alliance, but they allow trans people there too. Everybody is welcome, even, straight people, gay people, lesbian, whatever. So maybe find a group like that, or find a friend. Maybe there's somebody out at your school that you could talk to find inspiration, or to even just, say, hey, I'm in a really tough position because I can't come out, but I really feel like I want to do that. And, maybe they'll be able to work with you through what you're going through while you wait. Or you can even talk to me. I love talking to people. I've talked to a lot of y'all about even just your situation or being transgender or even gay in general, because I can relate to that. If you think that coming out as transgender is just going to be a shock and it's just going to be awkward and it's going to make you feel uncomfortable, but you want to come out, maybe try, preparing yourself a speech or something. That helped me a lot, saying, okay, this and this and this and this is what's happening, this is how I feel, this is what this means. Because if you explain everything, that's probably going to answer at least some of the questions that they would have asked. And also, make sure you go in there with an open mind and say, hey, I know you're not going to understand this at all. I know for a fact you aren't. But I'm willing to answer questions that you have. Please just listen to me. And listen to what I have to say, and then I will listen to what you have to say. I think those are all good things. And I know that coming out is scary no matter what. I mean, I have a family that is accepting of everybody, and it was still really, really hard to tell my whole family and to tell my mom, because it's a hard situation to be put in no matter who you are for everybody. So it's not only hard for me, it's hard for my mom. But I'm here to tell you, majority of the time, things do get better. So you might tell them, and it might be really awkward for a while, but eventually they will come around. I'm not going to say will, but majority of parents will. And it's just because they'll get used to it. At first it's new and it's different, and they aren't expecting it, or they are expecting it and they didn't want to hear it. But, after they see you and they see how happy it makes you, and they see that this is what's good for you, they're your parent overall and they love you. And even if they have a different belief or don't necessarily understand, I think it's really important to just show that you are still the same person and that you love them just as much, and that you are sharing yourself to them because you love them and you want them in your life. You don't want to just leave and then transition and then come back, or leave and then end up having a wife or husband and then come back, because you want them in your life and you want to share your life with them. I know that every situation is different, every parent is different, and every child is different. This is just some general advice to you from me about what I did or what I necessarily would do if I were in a different situation. It means so much that so many people are supporting me, and I really just want to give that back to every single one of you. And I want you guys to feel like you have someone to talk to. I know that I might not know you, but I would love to get to know you, and I would love to help you always. So yeah, maybe if you found this useful, you can let me know. If you have something else you want me to say, you can let me know. If you have some comments for other people, something that I forgot that you think would be helpful for other people coming out, please, by all means, go leave it in the comments, because that's kind of the whole point of this video, and I know I didn't necessarily probably touch everything. You guys take care, and I'll see you later.